If you had to go through your mind right now and ask yourself, what is it that you really don't have that you wish you had? This week I can think about the different people that I visited with, and I can think of each one that has lost something. This one person I visited with today, I asked, how are you doing? And they said they're feeling content. And I thought that was really amazing when I realized what this person had lost. And the same with the person I visited with yesterday. I could not function 1 second if I've lost what that person has lost. All of us in life lose a lot of things. Sometimes we need to lose those things. In Luke chapter 19, there's the story of the young rich ruler, and he has a lot of wealth. And Jesus asks him, when he asks what must he do to be saved, Jesus says, I know what you need to lose. You need to lose your wealth. And he couldn't do that. Jesus doesn't ask everybody to lose that specific thing. He asked his disciples, and he asked this one person. And that was it. And so sometimes we have things that we should lose, and we don't. And other times there are things that we lose that we shouldn't lose. If you have your Bibles, if you'd open to Luke chapter 15, we'll look at some things that got lost. When Jesus came to this world, he determined that he wouldn't help the righteous, that he wouldn't help those who had their lives just perfect, or at least who thought they had their lives perfect and who thought they were righteous. He said that he was going to go after the lost tribe, the lost people of Israel. And so he spent a lot of time with tax collectors and sinners, and the religious leaders of the day wanted to accept him in, I suppose, as one of their rabbis, and put a label on him and be able to train him and sort of monitor what he's doing. But Jesus was not going to have any of that. He said that he was going to be there for those tax collectors and sinners. And that's the background of what you find there in the parable or the lost chapter of the Bible, the 3 parables in Luke chapter 15. You'll see if you scan them, you'll see first of all that you've got the parable of the lost sheep. Then you've got the parable of the lost coin, and then you have the parable of the lost son. In each case, something happened to make these people or these items get lost. So today you can ask yourself, is there something important that you need to have that you don't have? And what is it? If it's something that was like the church at Ephesus that lost their first love, if it's something spiritually that you've lost, then obviously you need to work on it. When you look at the lost sheep, you have something that was lost naturally. When you look at the lost coin, you have something that was lost accidentally. When you look at the prodigal son, you have something that was lost willfully. So what have you lost in your life? Was it accidental? Was it willful? Or was it natural? And in each case, we see that there's a search committee that goes out. So let's look at that in Luke chapter 15. Let's look at verse 4. There it says, what man of you, having 100 sheep, if he loses one of them, does not leave the 99 in the wilderness and go after the one which is lost until he finds it? And so we as a congregation are saying, we want to find that which was lost. For the first 5 years, and I don't know how many months that I've been here, we've had a list of those who are lost. And not necessarily completely lost, but we don't see them for 3 weeks. On a Sunday morning, we don't know where they are. And that list was really extensive, right? The elders will tell you, how big was that list? I mean, it was, how many names do you think was on it every Sunday? On average, 20 or 30? And this week I looked at the list, and I think was there 5 names. And so whatever we're doing in preparation for our 100 days, we're not waiting. This church hasn't been waiting, and I'm so excited about that. We're actively going after the lost. Well, look at those that are lost accidentally. Look at verse 8, and look at the search committee here. Or what woman, this is Luke 15, verse 8, or what woman having 10 silver coins, if she loses one coin, does not light a lamp, sweep the house, and search carefully until she finds it? And so when something is lost, naturally, we go out and look for it. When something is lost accidentally, we go out and we look for it. And now let's go and look at the last one where something is lost willfully. And look at verse 20. Time is not going to permit me to go over all of them, so we're just highlighting these 3 verses tonight. And he rose and came to his father, but when he was still a great way off, his father saw him and had compassion and ran and fell on his neck and kissed him. So you have these 3 different items depicting 3 different types of souls that are lost. In each case, there's a search committee. But in one of the cases, the search committee isn't as active as what you would have thought it to be, right? You pick that up? In the first 2, the natural loss and the accidental loss, the elders get out and they beat the bushes and they go and look for that which was lost, right? I mean, they turn on the lamps, they sweep, they clean for the coin. If it's a sheep, they leave 99 sheep. There's no one to take care of those 99. They leave that 99 and they go and look for that one. Why? Because it was a natural thing. You know, it was a sheep, and a sheep will wander. But when the loss happened willfully, it was a whole different story. You know, I've often wondered, why did the father not go and search for his son? Why did he wait at the gate looking for his son every day? And only when he saw that his son was on his way back did he run and go and find his son. I think it's because when we leave the Lord willfully, when we know what we're doing, it's not accidental, it's not natural, we on purpose leave. I think it's a lot harder for us to get back. And I don't think the elders can bring us back. I don't think the Lord can bring us back. I don't think anybody but ourselves can bring ourselves back. And so we look at ourselves where we are today, and I ask again, what did you lose? You can find it today. You can find that peace again today. You can find that wholeness that you used to have. You can find that first love that you used to have. You can do that by very simply confessing what it is that you're struggling with. And you don't have to be detailed about it. You can be very general and ask the elders to pray for you. Or you can be specific to yourself and to your God. And you can let Him know, this is what I've messed up. This is where I went wrong. This is the wrong decision that I made. This is what it's going to take for me to get back. But maybe your loss is that you've never been baptized. You've never come into the church. You were saved at one point. But then you reached the age of accountability and you understood what good and evil is. And you, like everybody else, made the wrong choice. And you've never been baptized. And that's the way for you to come back. If you would like to come back to the fellowship, I know this church wants you back. We're very eager. If you haven't picked that up, you'll pick it up tonight as we look forward to welcoming you back. So if you would like to come back, please come forward right now. Together we stand and sing.